as P. In fact, this is P, the amplitude of the input, and times jg omega. Jg omega is simply this term. This is G omega. We wrote it last time, if you remember, we wrote it in this form. 1 over K minus M omega square, which is the real part, square, plus the imaginary part square, B omega square, the whole square. So this is the amplitude of the function. The amplitude of the function is this one, Jg omega. As you see here, this is what we found. This is the function we found here. So if you remember, we mentioned Jg omega as a magnitude will be equal to the magnitude of the real part over, so we are writing it 1 over 1 divided by square root of, the real part will be K minus M omega square, the whole square. This is the square root of the real part plus the imaginary part. The imaginary part is B omega square. So this is the amplitude of the transfer function, the sinusoidal transfer function. Now the phase angle, if you remember, the phase angle, we defined it to be Jg omega. The phase angle phi will be 10 minus 1 of the minus, because we have 1, and then we have minus 10 minus 1. The imaginary part will be B omega over K minus M omega square, the real part. So this is the phase angle. And that's why in the next equation, you will see that we are writing, this is the phase angle phi. And this is, if you want, this is the whole, this one is X, which is the amplitude of the output, which is X here. It's exactly as X. This X will be equal to Jg omega magnitude multiplied by the magnitude of the input, which is Me omega square. This one is written. We can write this one, if you want, in much a simpler form, but by introducing this quantity to make the equation, or to make the steady state response to be in the non-dimensional form. So if we take omega square n is equal to K over M, and if we take B over M to be twice zeta omega n, we can have this formula. You know, we divide by K. We divide by K everywhere. We divide by K. So we end up by having this formula. The next, if we divide the whole here by K, we end up by having this. So we are dealing, since we have these ones, so B over omega square n can be written as twice zeta over zeta omega n, and K square can be written as M omega square n square. So if you see these details here, we will end up by having the equation to be on this form.